Hello, new week, new video. This week I'm gonna be changing out the chain tensioner. I just got it in the mail, so I'm gonna change that. I also got new oil for the chain case. I had some, but since I'm draining out, yeah, I'm gonna fill it up again, and then we're gonna, I've already started a bit, but we're gonna start fabricating the bracket for the hydraulic disc brake. So as usual, when working on the chain case, we're gonna start with removing the exhaust and then just loosening up the bolts. We're also gonna check the speedo sensor. There might be a plastic bushing in there that's worn out. If it is that, we can order that part and the speedo will work again. So I'm going to start now with taking off the exhaust springs and lifting out the exhaust. Now we have the exhaust out, we have easy access to the chain case. So now I'm just going to undo the bolts and loosen up the speedo sensor, and then we're gonna change out the chain tensioner. Starting off by taking off the speedo. Last time I really struggled with the speedo sensor, kept falling down, being in the way, and try and zip tie it up and out of the way. Like so. Then we start loosening up. If you haven't tried this from Ryobi with the extended shaft, I can really recommend this one. They have one with just that's really short, but then you struggle with getting the entire body of it in where you need it to. So yeah, this one's really good. This one is with 1/4 inch drive. They have one with, is it called 3/8? That one's a little bit stronger, but this one has 60 Newton meters of torque, so it's good. That's all the bolts loose. Now we're going to see if we can. Oh, there you go. None of the oil hit. Take the cover off. Loosen up the chain tensioner. It's either 12 or 13. But almost everything on this snowmobile is 13. I'm gonna guess and say that it's 30. It is 13. We have the old one out. It's the old chain tensioner. I'll take the new one out of the plastic so you can see. So you see here is the old one with deep grooves in it, and here's the new one. So That's gonna be really good. There's a bushing in here, which you have to move over to the new one. Don't forget that if you're doing this. There's a little dinghy there, which the speedo goes into. I've been researching a bit, and if I put this in this way, it doesn't turn, but if I turn it around, put it in, it goes around. And that's a metal part right there, which I think is part of the axle. So I can't just take that out. But that is just the axle. And then it has this insert. The weird thing is, when I measure this part, it's the same on both sides, the same thickness. So why does it not turn now? But if I put it in this way, it spins freely. That's kind of weird. I can see that the part down here is kind of, it's bent outwards a bit, so maybe it's just worn. Maybe if I put the side in that fits, not that one, that side, then just give it a little squeeze. Can't really say that I think that's gonna work, but it's worth a shot. Let's see if it got tighter on this side as well now. Nope. So it can be that there's just some tiny difference. One side is supposed to go into the gearbox, but when I measure this, it's 2.5 millimeters on one side and 2.5 millimeters on the other side. It's also diagonally, it's 3 mil on the one side, and on the other side it's 3 mil. So this is the best kind of weird stuff, when thing just doesn't work for no apparent reason. So I think I'm gonna have to move the camera a bit out of the way, squeeze it a bit and see what I can do. Alright, so with the camera out of the way, I managed to give it quite a good squeeze. So now this one sits and doesn't turn no matter what direction I put it in. So hopefully that's good, I hope. I'm just gonna try and mount it like this. I think we can be happy about that. I think we put the chain case back on, clean up a bit down there, and then we're good. Then we have it cleaned up. So now we're gonna mount the cover and the new chain tensioner. Important to mount it the right way. That side against the chain. I also had some oil just in here, just to lube it up. It is metal on metal here, so slide that one on there. Cover down here. Try to work it back in place. There we go. Now hopefully chain is gonna find some tension a bit earlier than before. Okay. Not really. It's a little bit better. It is longer out by quite a bit. After all, it's maybe just half a centimeter that we're missing, and I'm guessing we have about 5 millimeters more here. So tension wise, I don't know. Yeah, that should be good. And then we just need to fill up the oil. Mount this, of course, and then fill up the oil. Give it a little, just a little bit of torque. Yeah, that's good. I think I'm gonna keep it like this, and we're gonna start fabricating the, as I showed you, the bracket for the disc brake. It's gonna sit right here, and gonna make another plate, goes on this side, and then we can mount the hydraulic brakes, hopefully. So I've cheated a bit and started fabricating this bracket for the disc brake, but now I'm gonna cut it here, and then we're gonna need to drill some holes. That's gonna be here, and we're gonna use this part to space out the disc brake to get it to center properly on the snowmobile. I'm gonna remove the sound of the angle grinder, so if you're watching this with headphones, you don't need to worry. But anyway, let's start cutting. So except from that it's now really hot, we have the first part of the bracket complete, or almost. We're gonna drill the holes for the caliper, and we're gonna need to put some holes in this one as well. So now everything has had some time to cool off. I took the piece that I cut off. I marked the height that I'm gonna need it to be. So now I'm gonna cut this as well, but I'm just gonna cut it and come back to you when it's finished cut. So now I got this piece finished cutting up. It's gonna act as a spacer in the back here, and the caliper is gonna bolt on here, but I'm gonna have to remove some material from here so that the caliper can fit. So I'm gonna mark that up and cut it. So this bearing is about the same size. Should we go? Maybe have some clearance. Yeah. back to cutting. What I like to do is that I cut out first, just with a cutting wheel, as much as possible, and then I grind it down with a grind disc afterwards. And now hopefully this is gonna be able to fit quite nicely. Now it's crushing, the caliper goes up a bit here, but I think I'm just gonna check which side is gonna be in and just grind on the back side. So I used the brake caliper, marked the holes and drilled the holes here, and now I've transferred the holes over to the other plate. I'm just gonna drill the hole. The caliper also sticks out a bit into where this plate is gonna be, so I'm just gonna grind that a bit down. There we go, good clearance. So now, technically, we are ready to mount this. I'm gonna clean them up a bit, and yeah, then we move over to the sled. Now we move over here. Gonna tighten up the. Couldn't find any shorter bolts. Oh. The reason I'm doing this is because I was hoping the brake caliper that I got was gonna fit directly in those holes, and technically it would have, but it needed to be a bit higher, or I could have changed the brake disc. But the easiest was to just make a bracket. Now this one should be able to sit here. This one goes on first, and this one. And this one fits just as well. Perfectly centered, good height, good clearance. I have already mounted the cylinder on the handlebars. So now it's just mounting the hose and bleeding it. Being real careful so I don't drop these copper rings. Oh. I do like that, and then zip tie it up there. Okay, that's disc brake on. Hopefully the speedo works. I'm gonna put the exhaust back on. Now we have the exhaust back in. Now we're moving over to fixing up some of this Not really sure what I'm gonna do about the light switch. As of now the lights doesn't work anyway, and we have to clock this the other way. And yeah, as you can see, I've mounted some handguards. Those are OEM Lynx ones, and these ones are power mat. I think these ones looks more period correct, so I'm probably gonna use those. Let's start by taking off the handguards again, reclocking this, and see if we can do something about the light switch. Starting with taking these handguards off again, just to free up some room. Yes. Gonna look at the light switch first. The purist in me would like to keep it, but it's gonna collide with the new brake. I was thinking to just cut it. This is not an impossible, this is a universal part on quite many Lynxes, so if I want to do it back to stock, but I'm never gonna put it back to stock. Yeah. YOLO. Yeah. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, now we have the old brake off. Gonna loosen up this one. Well, maybe it's because I'm taking it the wrong way. Yep. So that's embarrassing. Try there. See. Where should the brake actually be? It should be mounted there. Maybe we'll just have it like that. Didn't really like the look in the brake caliper. There's supposed to be in here, there's supposed to be a little pin with a spring on it. It's not in there right now, but I'm gonna try and mount that. So there's supposed to be a spring in there, but the original one was rusted out. So this is one from a pen. Take what you have. A bit of WD-40. And that's the brake on. Now it's ready to get fluid and then bleed the brakes. Yeah, I'm gonna clean these up and mount them. Sorry, but my camera ran out of battery, but now the brakes are bled and working just fine. So now that the brakes are bled, we are gonna mount the ski plastics. Now I'm gonna mount this super fresh looking purple ski plastics. I don't know what they're called on English, but yeah, they are tiny bit too short, but I'm just gonna cut off the end back here, so it's gonna fit. I thought to myself it's gonna be a problem if I reverse, but the sled doesn't have reverse anyway, so let's get it on. I'm gonna start with taking the old carbides off. I'm gonna need to drill some new holes in this plastic, make it fit. Missing about last 10 centimeters, so that's less than ideal. I'll just take the Dremel and cut between here. No, I can't mount it yet. You have to cut the rear part here of the ski off. I'm gonna do that and be right back. Now I cut the back. I also cut some, if you can see that, some slices in there, and I gave it a bit of an angle. Let's get these bad boys on. That actually looks okay minus, I would say. Looks kind of stupid, it doesn't go all the way back, but some skis have the have you heard about Carl's cut? When you cut the inside, easy side hilling. So that's what this is. So make it a side hilling machine. And I'm just gonna make the other side. So on the other side, I bent the carbides. When I went to do it on this side, I broke it. Okay, then everything is mounted. I decided to just mount the carbides even though I broke it. Had a little existential crisis there, but decided to just mount it anyway and see if it works. I also made kind of temporarily fix here for the light switch, so it's not too pretty, but it will work for now. So hopefully by next week I've gotten the parts for the engine, so that's gonna be in the next video hopefully, if I get the parts. So sorry for this video also being quite a long one, and hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.